This is a look behind the scenes here at Channel 13. This is one of the video editing bays in our newsroom area. This is some of the technology we used back in 1983 when I first started. We've come a long ways since then. Here's a look at one of my first reports on Channel 13 30 years ago. Here at Cybotech in Indianapolis, robots have been under construction for the past 3 years. The automotive industry, as well as the makers of heavy equipment and airplane parts, use these robots, which cost between $80,000 to $200,000 each. Robotic systems can run up to $1 million. Despite the high price, Cybotech made over $1.5 million in April, and the future looks even brighter. 65 people are currently employed here at Cybotech, but could it be that someday these men making robots be replaced by robots themselves?
No, not at all. A robot would not be capable of the foresight and the simple ranges of motion thinking required to do the sort of customized operations that are required to put a complicated machine like this together.
But even though these jobs may be safe, won't robots be taking the jobs of humans elsewhere? Peter Jones says no.
Robots require maintenance. They require skilled people to manufacture them, to maintain them. And to get a robot to work efficiently requires somebody else. Then there are people.
This is what the line looked like for Return of the Jedi a week and a half ago. This is what it looked like tonight. Attendance dropped 44% in Jedi's second weekend, something last year's blockbuster E.T. did not do. Now Hollywood is wondering if the summer of '83 will be a record breaker. But theater owners say the drop-off is not due to lack of popularity, it's the weather.
Used to be in the drive-ins, we hated rain. Now in the indoor theaters, why, rain is our best way of getting people into our theaters. I think that Revenge of the Jedi fell off because of the fact that it was such a beautiful weekend last week.
But even if the weather doesn't get worse, theater owners and moviegoers alike say the summer menu looks even better.
It's been pretty good. They have a lot of good shows on now.
Oh, they're coming out with much better films, much better films.
I've gone to a lot of movies this summer so far, and there's a lot of good ones out.
There's so many good pictures coming out that, yes, I think we'll have more theaters playing to more people.
It is called the Domestic Content Auto Bill. It would also set limits on the percentage of foreign-made components in cars and trucks sold in this country. The proposal passed the House Energy and Commerce Committee today. The bill is aimed at Toyota and Datsun, car makers that sell more than 900,000 vehicles here in the U.S. Every industrialized nation has some form of domestic content legislation, except the U.S.
All we're saying that if they have restrictions against imports of American autos, we ought to have restrictions against imports of their automobile.
The UAW's leadership is strongly behind the bill, which would create more than 1 million jobs for auto workers and would prevent further layoffs by placing more restrictions on foreign auto competition. But the bill's fate on Capitol Hill is questionable.
Senator Lugar has led the fight against a lot of our legislation. He will not support this legislation. I'm not sure whether Coyle will or not.